Many probably think, oh yeah, you're just going to be a musician if you apply for the job, but that's not entirely correct at all. Once you're on there, you could be required to undertake additional duties which are nothing to do with being a musician. So, for an example, we would have to conduct safety drills when we have a new turnover of guests board the ship, and also help on the gangway. I mean, we didn't have to do that too much, but it is a requirement that we could be asked at any given time to do. And also to, assist with any inquiries as well if need be. Once we're aboard the ship, we get allocated a cabin. Now, very often you will have to share with another person. So usually that other person would be somebody within the same department as you or the same band as you. So most of the cabin mates I shared with were actually musicians of my band. So it was kind of familiar, but at the same time, these are people who you've not met before, different nationalities, so things can get quite challenging. The cabins themselves are tiny, like absolutely tiny. And of course, when you think about if you're having to share with another person, this is when, things can get really cramped and a little frustrating as well. So as you can see, quite a very small cabin, and yes, definitely confined for space. Though I was able to accommodate for my suitcase, so I think once everything's packed in, it should be fine. And I imagine you'll probably have a bit of a laugh at this, but yes, here comes the dreaded small bathroom. It's literally no bigger than the size of a bathroom on an aircraft, so yes, very squeezy. So very important to keep it tidy, otherwise, shit will hit the fan, literally. But apart from that, that's pretty much it for my cabin. There's quite a lot of time during the day, so even in your cabin, if you're there by yourself, you can keep yourself busy by, working on things or practicing and warming up for the show or learning new repertoire is what I did on board as well. So there's time to do that, whereas if I found my cabin mate was in there at the same time, then there's a crew area above the crew cabins which people can go to and either practice or just chill out if you just want a bit of space from everything. So the crew area's got a pub in there as well, a bar. I mean, not open during the day, only the night, but it's an area just where you can just chill, just have time to yourself, really. But yeah, the cabin aspect of it is definitely a challenge. Eating on board, that's probably one of the biggest questions many of you would be wondering. So being part of the entertainment department, we get granted what we call deck privileges. So this more or less means we're allowed to go into passenger areas to eat, provided of course they're not busy. Of course, if they're busy with all the passengers, then we'd have to eat in the crew area. So basically the crew area is called the crew mess, and the name probably sounds unpleasant, and yeah, it's probably not the most pleasant of all. Some nights you can strike gold and get, quite a decent feed, but most of the time, no joke, it's literally dishes like floating fish heads and broth. And I remember walking there one time and I smelled this vile stench of fish, and then even when you leave the mess as well, your clothes take on that smell, so you literally have to change and then go down to the laundry. So yeah, the crew mess cannot be that appetizing at all, really. Luckily for us, being again in the entertainment department, There's another section called the staff mess. So basically the staff mess, if we can't eat in the guest areas, we can get at least like a decent feed there. So they have like a set menus. So it's usually like baked chicken, salmon, that sort of thing as well. So, it wasn't half bad either. So it was quite decent. But most of the times, we'd always want to eat up in the guest area. So the main guest area which we could eat in was the buffet, or known as Horizon Courts on any Princess ship. So yeah, basically breakfast, lunch, dinner, provided it's after peak time. So usually on a sea day when we're on the ocean all day, it can be a bit tricky to get in there because since guests have priority over us and it's usually busy. But if it's a port day, a majority of the guests will be off sightseeing. So we're able to go up there and have breakfast, lunch. And usually when it comes to having dinner up in the buffet, we'd usually do that after we've played all our shows because, of course, it's later at night. We usually probably finish around 10:30 in the evening and then head up and grab something to eat as it's not really all that busy there. So basically picking your times. Even some of the restaurants on board as well, we can have privileges to eat there if we have a night off, which once in a blue moon was actually possible for us to do. But again, it's all about picking your times really. So that's one of the perks of being part of the entertainment department. We can go up and eat in passenger restaurants and buffets, as well as use like the passenger gym as well, and even go up to the passenger salon to get a haircut and get a little bit pampered. So there's definitely those perks there.